So let's look at number 12. And again, the steps are E, R, M. E stands for exponent outside. R stands for reorder, and M stands for what? Multiply. Is there an exponent outside of parentheses here? This one right here, right? So we need to apply that first. Regardless of what's going on with anything else, that's always my first step. So I'm going to bring this part down like normal. I'm not changing anything to this first part. And I'm applying. So I'm going to get x to the third power. I'm going to get y to the fourth to the third power. And then I'm going to get z squared also taken to the third power. Questions this far? So then over here, I'm going to keep applying. This is going to remain x to the third. Then I'm going to have y to the 12th. And I'm going to have z to the 6th. And I'm going to bring down everything else as is. Now I got to double check. Do I have any more exponents without outside of a parentheses? There's no more parentheses, right? So this step is done. But I always make that mental check. Sometimes you're going to have problems that have multiple parentheses, right? You always double check that. Is that clear? The next step, what does the R stand for? Reorder. So I'm going to put my 2 here first as a coefficient. Do I have any more coefficients? All right, I'll leave that as is. I cross this out. Then I'm going to put my x. Do I have any more x factors? I do, x to the third. So I bring x to the third down. Okay. Then the next one I'm going to have is y to the 5th. Right? I have an x from here and x to the third from here. So I got y to the 5th. Do I have any more y factors? Y to the 12th. Then I have z to the 2nd. Do I have any more z factors? Good. Questions? That's correct. So it's going to be 2, and it's going to be x to the 1 plus 3, which gives me x to the. Then I'm going to get y to the 5 plus 12, y to the. And last but not least, it's going to be z to the 8th. Questions on this? Okay. Keep in mind that anything that's quote unquote complicated is very simple. It's just a bunch of simple steps stacked on top of each other. So if you know each step, it doesn't matter what type of problem I give you, you can handle it. I'm gonna give you a second to take this down if you need to, and then I'm gonna move to number 11. Okay, I'm moving in 3, 2, 1. We get it to you later. All right, let's look at this. What's different about this? It got 2 double parentheses, right? But what are the steps? What are the letters for the steps? E, R, M. Do I have any exponents outside of parentheses? I got 2 of them. Which one should I work with first, the 2 or the 3? Why the 2? 2 is correct, but why the 2? Yeah, but also it's the one that's more inside is always the one you do first. Is it clear? You don't do the one that's all the way outside. You do the one that's more inside, you do first. Is that clear? So we're going to handle this exponent outside of parentheses. Okay, and this is first. So I'm going to have x to the 4th, and I'm taking this to the 2nd. Then I'm going to have y to the 3rd, and I'm taking this to the 2nd. And I'm going to have z cubed, and I'm taking that also to the 2nd power. This is going to give me, open parentheses, x to the 8th, y to the 6th, and z to the 6th. Now, this part here, I applied, I went through this, and I got that. Everything else, I'm bringing down as the way it was. Does it make sense? Questions? Okay. Now, do I have any more exponents outside of parentheses? Nah, you shouldn't be talking now. Do I have any more exponents outside of parentheses? This one. So then must apply to everything now. So I'm going to have x to the 8th to the 3rd power. Then I'm gonna have y to the 6 to the third power. Then I'm gonna have z to the 6 to the third power. Then I'm gonna have 2 to the third power. Then I'm gonna have x to the third power. I'm gonna have z to the third power. Then I'm gonna have y squared also to the third power. Questions? Call it out. What should this be? This should give me x to the, nobody knows. This should give me x to the 24. This should give me y to the, thank you, z to the, and then 2 to the third power gives me, you can plug it in, 8. Then I'm gonna have x to the third power, z to the third power, and y to the 6. I did my exponents outside the parentheses. After the E always comes what? R. And after that always comes M. So if I'm gonna reorder, I'm gonna start with x to the 24. Do I have any more x factors? I bring that down. Then I'm gonna have y to the 18th. Do I have any more y factors? Z to the 18th. Must go with. And last but not least, I'll bring my 8 up front. After we reorder, we must multiply. So it becomes 8x to the 27th, y to the 24th, and z to the 21. Take that down. All right. So we got about 6 minutes left. I want you guys to choose. Should we just do some more practice or should we play a game? Raise your hand if you want to play a game. High. So just 1, 2, 3. Raise your hand if you just want to do more practice. All right, so game wins 3-1, 3-1. All right, cool. So let's go. All right. It's a cool game, and you can win some Magic Bucks too. I need a volunteer, a courageous volunteer. Come up, take a seat. Go ahead, take a seat. Magic Bucks for your courage for coming up. All right.